we come from. That at some point there would be a census of the sparks of our kids, and that census would flood the media to put the story out into our cities about the rich ways that kids define their human spark. It gives us a whole nother lens. It draws us toward them rather than the images we have now of our kids, which is so often things that frighten us and push us away. Here are some of the leading categories of sparks: helping, serving, and volunteering, leading, learning a particular subject matter like archaeology, physics, French, service to the globe, that is stewardship of the earth, the preservation of the natural world, athletics, and the creative life. And the winner in all these categories is the creative life. Art, music, drama, dance, movement is the largest category in which sparks fall for America's kids. Interesting. That's the arena in which most kids say, "I'm my best self." That's the arena in which most kids will say, "This is where life is the fullest and the most hopeful." How are we doing in America in supporting art, music, drama, dance, movement? It's not that we want all those kids to necessarily become professionals in that field. It's about right now. Human development is about today. It's about how I awaken, how I am seen, how I am known, and how I am embraced. Have I mentioned my grandson Ryder yet? Ryder's 7 now, but when he was 4, he taught us a very important thing about the human spark. He reminded us that the spark is not necessarily the same thing as the work you do. So Ryder was on our deck, and he says, "You know what?" As he's holding up this hand, "I am an artist. I don't know if it's the work I will do someday, but I am an artist. I am." Spark is a life orientation. It's an approach. It's a way of being present in the world. It may touch work. It may be work. It may be outside of work. It's not the same thing as vocational planning. It's about nurturing and naming what is in here. This mom is Leah Adler. Her son, when her son was 8, this is a story, by the way, that spark is not always pretty. When her son was 8, he cut off the head of a doll, put it on a plate of lettuce, brought it into his mother in the family room and said, "Isn't this cool? Doesn't this look great?" When he was 12, he boiled a pot of water, put 6 cans of unopened cherries in it, waited for them to explode, and then filmed the cherries and the juice rolling down the walls of that kitchen. Now, most parents, what would we be doing? Seeking professional help, thinking reform school. Not Leah Adler. She's the mother of Steven Spielberg. And she cut him some slack, didn't she? She went with it. She went with the flow. Well, the real problem in America, the real challenge is this issue of spark. No one's asked me. Nobody knows what my spark is. It happens over and over and over again. You ever heard a kid say, "See me"? You never see me. What are they saying? It isn't about the external, is it? It's about see what I'm bringing to the human party. Thriving requires more than spark. We've worked to develop a scientifically grounded model of human thriving that is spark plus 3 spark champions, preferably somebody in family and school and in community who is a spark champion. They see it in you. They name it. They affirm it. They run interference. They find you opportunities. They talk about you and your human spark. And then the critical nature of opportunity. to express the spark. Great things happen, my friends, when kids experience these three ingredients. And the science is really profound. Spark plus champions plus opportunity, school success skyrockets. Engagement in school skyrockets. Compassion for others rises. A sense of purpose rises. Violence decreases. How could it be otherwise? We're talking about the process of human thriving in the world. But now here is where it falls apart. Do kids have three champions? Not very often. Barely 1/2 of our kids in America say their family knows and nourishes the spark. Only 1/3 say anybody in their school names, knows, and nourishes the spark. And in the broader community of congregations, synagogue, youth programs, playgrounds, and neighborhood, only 1/4 of kids say anybody knows my spark. And then there's the opportunity gap. That's huge. The mismatch between how kids name spark, particularly in the creative life, and the opportunities for that to be nourished in community. There's an anthem for this idea of human thriving. This is cyclone fence looking out on a baseball diamond. The anthem is by John Fogerty of Creedence Clearwater Revival. It goes something like, "Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play today." That word today is critical. Not tomorrow, but today. I want to be in there today. I am a leader. Put me in. I am a helper. Put me in. Know me. I am a giver. I am a protector of the world. Know me and put me in. You shall know them by their sparks probably ought to be the most significant mantra and mandate for all of us in the world. And you shall know them by their sparks. I, as a developmental scientist, am amazed at how easily we forget about how young people bring to our world a special capacity or gift that our world desperately needs, and we so easily snuff it out. And as a citizen, I am amazed how rarely we remember that innovation largely comes from the inside out, not the outside in. There's a bunch of things I do now to change and transform how we do business in America. I would make knowing kids' sparks at the very center of school life. In fact, I'd put it right at the front. I don't know how you can engage and connect and bond kids to the institution called school without knowing their spark. I would teach families the process of the spark dialogue and how to name, affirm, and be champion. I'd make the first parent-teacher conference of the year to be about the spark of a kid. Let's talk that through, and we'll get to the rest of the stuff. I would do a census in cities about sparks and put it out into the ether of community. And then I would map our after-school programs against sparks and begin to realign opportunity with the expression of spark. My friends, this is really important stuff in the annals of development. As you drive home tonight, I wish you would reflect some on your own spark biography. Get used to that vocabulary and discourse. What is your spark? What was it? What was it when you were 16? What was it when you were 26 and 36? Did it change? Did it mutate? Is it the same? Because in dialogue with kids, they're going to want to know, tell me your spark. They're going to turn the tables back on you. When you get home tonight, if you have a partner, a spouse, practice the spark dialogue. What is your spark? Who knows it? How can I help? Where do you express it? What gets in your way? What is your spark? And then tomorrow, find a young person in your family or somebody else's family and start the process. What is your spark? I am dying to know. We've got this power, my friends, in America, if we could mobilize our people to see differently, to know differently, and as we do that, we move toward our young rather than away from them. Thank you very, very much.